fast. At 13, I had my first taste of alcohol. At 14, I started smoking cigarettes and marijuana. By 15, I was going to raves every weekend and dropping ecstasy. Rolling face is what we called it back then. At 17, I started smoking OxyContin, which we nicknamed Roxy's, as in, I'm hanging out with Roxy this Friday, are you in? By 18, we'd switched to black tar heroin. I never shot up, only smoked it, thank God, but that also meant that I puked as often as I smoked, which was every day in those last few months until I quit. Happy to say that I celebrated my 19th birthday clean and sober at a Narcotics Anonymous meeting with my sponsor, a New York Jew who used to shoot up white china until she quit, earned a PhD, and became a professor. At 20, I decided to start drinking again. I used a friend's old ID and knew which bars, didn't look at them closely. At 21, I started doing cocaine once a month. By 23, it was every weekend, though by then I learned that if I wanted to do coke on a Friday, I could get to sleep Saturday morning by taking a sleeping pill, but that also meant that I would sleep through most of Sunday, but at least I could get to class by Monday and kind of be okay. At 24, I met a guy who turned sex into my drug, so I didn't have much use for coke that year. At 25, I finally quit cigarettes and alcohol. My ex, who was 6 years clean and sober by then, taught me how. On the street, I would chew peppermint gum every time I thought about lighting up. With alcohol, my biggest concern was what I would drink at the bar if I was not drinking. I quickly learned that not drinking also meant that I was not frequenting bars, and then COVID happened, which made that a whole hell of a lot easier. At 26, I quit sugar, caffeine, bread, potatoes, fruit for years. There was a week that I quit eating altogether. When I tell you that I quit sex at 27, I mean I would even turn my head away from people in the street that I found attractive. I became the queen of quitting, but do not be confused. I was not free from the anger or shame or blame that led me to use things or quit things in the first place, and so, at 29, I decided to bring it back. The food, the sex, yes, even chocolate cake. A few months into this experiment, I had 4 deciliters of an IPA. Turned out I still love that bitter taste, carbonation on my tongue, but I went home that night already sober and loving it. Can I tell you what I'm most addicted to these days? I'm most addicted to being present inside of this body, this temporal, breakable, immensely intelligent machine I spent so many years running away from. I'm addicted to her wisdoms, her teachings, how she shows me to slow down, tune in, and live. I mean, really live for the first time in 31 years.